Right, cool. We're here. We're live.
Hola.
Okay. Hola. Ibai Canales coming from live from Spain, and I'm live from London. And together, we hash out this idea. Well, I'm having these ideas. I'm just forcing Canales to do it at gunpoint,
Yeah, I don't have
because
ideas anymore.
otherwise,
I'm just an artist. I used to have lots of
that's it.
ideas when I was drawing and writing my own stuff. Now I don't have any. I'm just a machine.
Yeah. What's happening with the decimators?
Oh well, I'm currently busy reformatting the original files into files that the wicked guys can use. So I haven't written anything in years. Nah, I kind of miss it, but I'm too busy drawing stuff for other people. But hopefully someday I'll go back to it.
Awesome. So that's being published by Wiki Publishing, isn't it?
Hmm. Fine
Wiki,
lads, fine lads,
Wiki,
wicked with the D at the end.
Wicked. That's it. That's it. So basically, what it is that I had some, I always have a bunch of old ideas, old scripts, script specs, and a few treatments. Some of them actually evolved into things which go up to like 40 pages or something. And then, I just keep them in the drawers. And one of the treatments I had was for this horror movie. That was initially the idea. Was kind of, back in the days when I thought I could still self produce a full feature. And
Yeah,
to all credit be due, I tried once. We actually started shooting, but then we just ran out of budget by the third day.
yeah, that's a
That's how
common
well
problem when you're
prepared I
making
was.
movies.
I mean, I got really pissed off. Everything went bad. The actors went bad. The equipment went bad. I mean, I had the sound being recorded separately because I had these really out there ideas that I was going to have. I was going to double up my sound. It was going to be the sound on the camera, which is pretty crappy. And this was back in 1999, so you can imagine it was Betamax. So to compensate, I was going to have a digital soundtrack to support it. So I had these two. I looked at no expenses. I brought in these two chicks, and all the chicks were hot, and they were just
That's
sound
always a
women.
plus.
Even the sound women had to be hot, and they recorded the sound separately on CDs, on DVDs, so full digital recording. Yeah,
Mm.
and that on the second day of footage, they went on to the subway and they got robbed.
Oh,
And the guys
awesome.
because it was late. We had shooting days that were late, yeah. So you ended up at midnight or something. So they went on like the last train, and the underground in London, you got to be careful in certain neighborhoods at certain time of the night because you're really on your own. I mean, there's no one in the underground stations. I mean, they're there, but they're closed inside. They don't come out, right? There's no
Mm.
security, and the trains are completely empty. Yeah, so two young hot girls, with a lot of hardware with them, which was the microphone, the stuff, because they insisted to take with them. I told them to leave it at where we were shooting, which is a friend's house, and they ended up taking in the underground, and they got robbed. They got robbed. They just took everything. So I lost the soundtrack by the second day. By the third day, I gave up, so because there was so many problems. So, but back to the scripts though. When I was still thinking I was going to start pitching scripts, or kind of just do it myself, I had one which was about the story of this guy, which is basically just the devil. Is the devil in a human form, and he visits an outlet back in the Middle Ages,
Hmm.
and he fornicates with all the young ladies. he, he
Lord.
tries so he tries to turn everybody into a liberal back in the 1400s, and they had enough of this guy. They have enough of this liberal guy, so they put him to the stake, right?
Can't say I
And
blame
he
them.
dies. He's kind of a John Lennon kind of character, yeah. But he's the devil. He's cool. Yeah, he's
I
cooler than
always
John
thought
Lennon.
John Lennon was Satan.
Yeah, I think he was. So this guy gets burned on the stake, but before he dies, he sends a curse to these guys, right? And the idea was that he was going to come back in the modern days and terrify the descendants of those village people that had burned him on the stake, right?
Mm.
All those years ago, 600 years ago. And it was going to be like just one house, a limited set of characters, and the whole house kind of turning against these people slowly. They couldn't get out because it was based on a lot of gothic horror kind of themes. So stuff that
Yeah,
you
very, very
would
keep
have.
it.
There was a very good British series actually back in the 70s. I think it was called The Horror House, something like that. It was like standalone stories, from episode to episode, and it was always situations of people that was just eventually would find themselves trapped in houses, and it's like creep show kind of thing, kind of Twilight Zone meets creep show. So definitely chamber horror, definitely gothic horror, and but they were usually modern stories. But there's always something to do with an isolated place and a small number of characters, so you could do something in half an hour, right? And so I have this spec script, and it was going to be mostly psychological horror. So kind of I shelved that. I didn't really develop it into anything. I wrote quite a lot of it, but I gave up on it. So fast forward all these years later, and I'm thinking we gotta make a book that is kind of works as a statement, as a bit of ammo towards this culture war that we're going through. It
Mm.
doesn't seem to be. It's a tug of war right now. Both sides is complicated. There's no clear winning in place. And I'm thinking, we need a propaganda tool. that's that's what
Absolutely,
I thought. We
absolutely.
need we need a propaganda tool, and why not? So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go through again through the spec scripts I got, and I thought about that one. It's called The Visitor,
Mm.
and I thought maybe I can grab them. Maybe I can still do something like that. And that is the opening that I've sent you. Those first 3 or 4 pages. It's what's
Yep.
left of that script. Is exactly what it is. And I just I added 2 things to that. So I transformed that script by adding 2 more things. One was this kind of loathing I have towards dolls. I always porcelain dolls have always freaked me out. Obviously, they freak out a lot of people. That's why they're even doing movies with Annabelle and that shit. The horror. Porcelain dolls are a staple of horror movies. In a chamber horror. So I remember that scene in Barbarella where the little dolls bite her. They
Oh
got
yeah.
these jaw. Yeah, they got these metal teeth, and they just go at James Fonda's ankles. That scene always freaked me out, man. That is a freaky scene.
Rightly so, because it's a freaking freaky scene, man. It's really unnerving.
It is very freaky, especially when you're a younger lad. And let's just say hello to Commie Mark here. I send the pitch to Commie Mark as well. See if he can
Hola.
help out with the script. Any ideas he has to pitch him in. So yeah, so I link the old spec script of the guy, the devil guy, wanting to enact revenge. Plus, I added the freakish passion I have against dolls. And then another thing that I had seen before, and I think it was explored on a couple of I don't know, maybe in a couple of movies or a couple of serials, but I clearly remember, maybe even in a cartoon, which is like a urban myth. Basically, it's an urban myth, which is the thing of your household appliances becoming sentient and just attacking you. And I'm pretty sure I've seen this before. I don't know where, I forget, but I kind of threw everything into the pot and came up when gnomes attack, basically, which is, you got the main characters, which is a bunch of garden gnomes. So everyone that was thinking there was other kind of gnomes, that's what's going to be, garden gnomes. And then I put it the premise, which is the devil guy. enacting the revenge. So basically, he sends a curse down the times to the descendants of the people that burn him on the stake, and the curse is everything in their household is going to become alive and is going to destroy the occupants of the house. So garden gnomes is a ridiculous idea of little gnomes becoming alive, plus the vacuum cleaner and the pots and the pans and everything else in the house, and just the whole house shuts down, does not let the people come out, and the people inside just have to survive this onslaught of things that are going to be literally be coming out of the woodwork to kill them. Now, obviously, what are we going to do inside the house, isn't it? Well, we're going to have to furnish the house with the right kind of characters. And this is when I thought that maybe we can use this as a propaganda tool. I thought to myself, this is not going to be just your usual house welder. This is going to be a bunch of despicable liberals. Each
Good.
one of them kind of. Sorry, what were you saying?
I just said good. I was trying to make my Emperor Palpatine impersonation. Good, Anakin, good.
So yeah, each one of them is like a staple, of liberalism, So we got a really nice roster of characters, and the idea is to do going onwards with these live streams, hopefully once a week, depending on the time that Canales has, is to first of all design the characters one by one. And so I got the script here, and at the same time, we want to use these streams to give a chance to fans and the audience, and the comics guide and the indie comics audience at large, to come in and tip in ideas. So literally, I would say, I'm sure this is not the first one, but this is a interactive comic. I would like to call it, where the audience has a chance to come here and actually be a part of it. Just give us some clues of what they want to happen to these characters. Because there's so many situations that can happen inside a house that does not let you out. They cannot break the windows. It's not an option. And there's going to be total chaos and destruction inside. Now we will go through the characters later on. Right now, today, I was suggesting to Canales to maybe to start thinking about how the gnomes are going to look like, because really we're starting off the project from scratch, and I think that's what is great, is to pitch the Gnomes Attack as a book that anyone can come in and participate, and then they do. If we get to choose your idea as a viewer, as a fan, we'll certainly put your credits on the book, on
Mhm.
the credits page. Let me just start sharing the screen here. There you go. Now, here's the script. We got the gnomes here. Now, the gnomes are garden gnomes, so let's have a look here at the images of garden gnomes. Okay, so I was thinking, obviously, we immediately thought about the seven dwarfs, isn't it? Snow White and the seven dwarfs. Let's zoom in on these pictures here. Look at this guy. Can you see this?
Yeah, that's exactly what we were going for. People showing their arses
exactly
on the live on the screen.
That's it. Now we want to go really dirty with this book, isn't that right? I mean, that's the other part of this. It's just that this is going to be a full R-rated book.
Yeah, well,
18
dirty
plus.
is my...
Actually, Dirty is what?
Dirty is my second name, as you all know.
Now the next stream we'll do, I'll put the disclaimer in the beginning that these streams are going to be for adults only. So if you're 15, it's good. You can come in. And the idea is that, we want to be able to do what we want. We want to be able to have no strings attached to this book. We want to be able to go as dirty as possible. Our book is never going to be on the shops. This is going to be crowdfunding only. So this is the place. This is a place to go full debauchery. basically full on debauchery. We will look at no limits with this. Look at this. We got nudists here as well. Oh, look at this. This is cute.
Such degeneracy.
It is. I mean, and that's the thing. We thought we were going to be degenerates with this book. They're already beaten it to us. They're already beaten.
Well, that's the
Look at
thing
this.
about the
They're more
internet.
degenerate than we are.
Nothing that you can come up with is more degenerate than what's already on the internet.
Unbelievable. Look at this. It reminds me of my ex-wife, actually. It's a nudist colony. And he's got, what is he? He's got like this little, it's like a little cup covering him. Oh, that's cool. And this guy's sticking the finger. Of course he is. Okay, these ones are clearly the seven dwarfs, apart from the hats. Okay, so Canales, tell me, what are the defining features of a garden gnome? Is it the pointy hat? The pointy hat is a must because I can see they all have the same kind of pointy hat, isn't it?
Yep. I would argue that they all have pointy hats, bushy beards, and for some
Hmm.
reason, really visible belt, but bucklers, the thing that you use to tie your belt up.
Yeah. I mean, these guys are usually on the. They got a bit of girt, isn't it? They're usually on the
Yes.
chubby size. So I guess the belt, the large belt with the large buckle is necessary to hold the pants, I guess. So that'll be the other feature. These are definitely the seven dwarfs. There we go. Because that was the feature with the seven dwarfs. They had kind of this Jewish style beard, isn't it? They had no mustache.
Oh,
They
it's
just had the
very
beard falling.
yes. That's Jewish. Those are Jewish dwarves for some reason. I'm sure they
Yeah.
are.
And the seven dwarfs hats, they were not pointy. They kind of fell to the back, didn't they?
Mm,
Oh, look, a big close up of the yes guy. He's got- what is this? Is this a cleaning device? The bird? God almighty. I got a neighbor here
I
in the
think I think
back
I
and
think garden gnomes are a way of infiltrating degeneracy into everyday lives, into suburban lives. Know what I mean?
I think you are correct. And we've chosen the right kind of nemesis. Look at this one. He's got a hard on. Oh, that's great. He's showing the hard on. And he's got a nasty face as well, man. He's got a wild beard. Look at his
I was,
eyes.
you know,
Jesus Christ.
I was expecting us to be like the subversive ones with our gnome stuff, but turns out gnomes are already pretty subversive bastards.
Yeah. Got a zombie gnome. Look at this. That's cool. That must be
Huh,
a custom made kind of
yeah,
thing. A
pretty
zombie
cool.
garden gnome. Well, there you go. We got a. Well, we don't have our work cut out for us. We have the work in our favor. we can, now we can go even more degenerate. Then we can amp up the amp. Look at this. Oh, this one is
And
completely
about
naked. There we go.
degeneracy.
Completely. This one on Amazon. The hat over his face, so he doesn't see where he's going. He's got the lawnmower. Yeah. Get out of here, Amazon. They always want me to go for Amazon Prime. And there you go. He's obviously he's doing his garden naked, obviously.
Because why the hell not?
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, I got the list here of gnomes that we have. Now, the gnomes do not talk in the book. I think that's a wise decision. We let their actions speak for them. As it says here in the character sheet here, all reminiscent of the seven dwarfs, and they have individual characteristics. Now, I was thinking our gnomes, they should vary in size, obviously, because just like if you're a proper garden gnome collector, which I've never been one, I have no idea of anyone that is one, but if you are a proper garden gnome collector, I would think you would have gnomes of different sizes, little ones, medium-sized ones. And we thought about a very big one, isn't it? The 4 foot tall gnome. It's going to come quite
Yeah,
useful.
almost as tall as a kid, which makes him probably the alpha of the pack. He's the one calling the shots.
Yeah, it's a big guy. Maybe. I mean, I was thinking maybe it's more like the muscle. It's pretty
Oh,
dumb.
okay.
You want him to make the alpha? Who can do that as a twist? We have
Okay,
like
yeah,
one
okay,
guy.
cool, yeah.
We have like one guy that is this one here that I thought about. Call him boss, but we can change these names. Okay, anyway, they're not going to show up in the book because they don't speak among themselves. So, but I put it here: the boss, the leader of the gnomes, pointed commands, white beard, pipey mouth. But he could be just like a mouthpiece of the gnome gang.
Mm,
And actually, Giant, which is the 4 foot tall gnome, you be the actual guy in charge. And actually, because in the cover, we were talking about just before coming live, we have this cover commission, and it's going to be really awesome. It's going to have nothing to do with the inside of the book. Part is just going to have some ideas on it. But in the cover, we have this really big, bulky bicep fooled gnome, and that could be this one. That could be the 4 foot tall gnome. But I can't
yep.
reveal much more of the cover because the cover is the idea. I already sketched it, and I'm gonna send it up to the guy to our artist, cover artist, and it's gonna be amazing. So I'm just thinking that apart from it's gonna be black and white, obviously, because Canales works in black and white. I'm not gonna be adding any colors to this. The idea is that we want to do a really pulpy, trashy kind of comic. And hey, a lot of people on online, they were wondering, why I invited Canales in. Well, and there's a very obvious reason for it because besides that, Canales is the right person for this book, and a lot of fans weren't happy. Well, Lewis should not. Did you know that they were very upset? These guys, a lot of them, Lewis should not bring Canales on. Leave Canales alone. No. Canales is the right
Well,
person for this book.
they know I am overworked. They know I am overworked, so they worry about my health, obviously.
I know.
But I'd
That's
rather be
exactly what I thought.
overworked. I'd rather be overworked. I'd rather be overworked than unemployed. So that's why I'm killing
Exactly.
myself right now to realize all these beautiful comicscape projects.
Same thing here. I prefer to work hard, and my knees hurt every day. My back hurts every day. I bust my butt, but I prefer to work hard and be starving. That's how I see it in the
Hmm.
end of the day. That's why I have to apologize today. We are running late because day was tough. I had to take a rest in the middle of the day, but we intend to do these streams a little bit earlier every now and then. But looking here at the gnomes, um, the other reason I invited Canales to do the gnomes is that I'm also burned out from my own book, man. I mean, I prefer to concentrate for a little bit on. Sorry, I got the chewing gum on my mouth, but I prefer to concentrate a little bit on writing for the time being because I just finished three issues. I had to be on top of the colors as well. It was a lot of work. It's shipping out now, by the way, the Chromosome 96 series. Been sending out a lot of packages this weekend and the rest next week. Hopefully, the backers will be getting it very soon in good condition. But because I still have to do another 3 issues of that, and it's still going to be pencils and inks as well. I wanted to take a bit of time off from doing the actual art, and I mean, it's the right decision because I won't possibly be able to do what Canales does. He works like a madman. He works very hard and very fast, and I mean, he also produces the right kind of lines that have the right kind of art that this book requires. So anyway, what are you sketching at the moment? Let me just go
Well,
back on you there.
oh shit! I almost destroyed my fine liner stand, but now everything is safe. I hope you can see it. How about now? I'm designing what could be your standard evil gnome. Hope you can. Yeah, you
Mhm.
can make it out, right?
Um, the only thing in the way is the flickering. Tell you what. So if you just tilt the board a little bit to
But I think I should.
uh,
But that.
Yeah, it's better now. The right side of the board will be tilted a bit closer to the camera. That's how we should be. The right side of the board. Yeah, like that. All right. So what do we got here? Is that
It's
gnashing teeth?
it's your, it's your standard evil gnome.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little evil bastard. As you can see, I gave him that. Yeah, I gave him like a huge shark-like mouth with tiny black beady eyes. You know, because you said
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing, the dolls in Barbarella, the porcelain dolls. I think their creepiest
Mm,
quality, they have like little
mm-hmm.
black eyes. That's really creepy.
So like I can see that nose there. It's like a
Hmm.
cross between a gnome and a troll. What do you think? Because
Yeah,
have you watched
that's
Troll Hunter?
interesting. Oh yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah. Let me just pick up some pictures of Troll Hunter. Maybe people haven't seen the trolls of Troll Hunter. God damn it! The goddamn cartoon showed up. Troll Hunters is a cartoon. Let me share the
Yeah,
screen
that's
again.
the one. That's the one made by Guillermo del Toro, right?
The, the cartoon? Yes,
Yeah,
I think so. The Troll Hunter, though, the movie is it's a Danish film, isn't it? Yeah, it's from Denmark. Nice. Yeah,
yeah.
it is.
That's pretty sure something like that. Yeah.
There we go. That's a troll from the Troll Hunter, and they're very funky trolls. It reminds me a lot of what the Jim Manson workshop used to do.
Hmm.
They got these big elongated noses, and they look like funky. They look like someone you like to not like a monster you like to have at home if he was nice.
Yeah, they're kind of endearing.
Maybe. Yeah, they kind of these endearing features about them. So, and of course, there's the cave troll from the Lord of the Rings, which doesn't look anything like that. So I don't know. Maybe. So I guess we're going for that kind of thing. So what about the chubbiness in the tummy? Shall we give them little legs, little arms? I mean, they're going to use whatever is available to enact revenge on people. So they're gonna use knives. They're gonna use toothbrushes. They can use anything.
This is a pizza cutter, just so you know.
Oh, there you go. Is this like a hacksaw or something?
No, no, it's a pizza cutter. I always
Hmm.
thought pizza cutters were underused in horror movies
There you go.
since they
That's good.
they, they look like bone saws and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, we have to imagine that these guys are little, so they're like 40 centimeters up to 4 feet, so not very big, and they don't have a huge range of movement, isn't it? They have little legs, little stumpy legs. That guy looks
Yeah, this
quite
this,
agile,
this
though.
one. Yeah, I gave him like little rabbit-like legs, so I don't know. I guess they can jump. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
what you had with these guys. I still like
I mean, let's go
resemblance.
back on the. Let's share again this. Let's go back on the script. Okay, so we got Smart, the MacGyver of the bunch, carries a pouch. Oh, there you go. That's other things you can include. So little utility pouches on their belts. Then we got Tranny, a female gnome.
Oh,
Cute dress, high heels, slutty. You remember that chick from the Smurfs, the one that has a red dress? I think he's the only
oh yeah.
female Smurf, isn't it? That's something like that. Cumbersome, a bigger fat gnome, prone to falls. Well, I guess they're all prone to falls anyway, but got Magic, like Magic Johnson, a fast workman's gnome, the regular foot soldier of the gnome squad, first line of attack. We got Nomad, another self-sufficient gnome, works well in a team, obsessed with bodily fluids. Oh yeah, I got this. I got a lot of one-liners, and I got a lot of sketch scenes with that involve bodily fluids throughout the book. So that's going to be
Cool,
interesting.
cool. I'm in. I'm in.
And then then we have the aforementioned giant, the 4-foot gnome, centerpiece of the house garden. So going to be developing the characters one by one. There is human characters, obviously, which are the counterparts of the gnomes. There is, if I can count well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 gnomes at the moment. We're quite happy to include another one. And then it will be the same amount of, human characters, about 8 of them, as it is. So each of them has, again, very particular characteristics. And the idea is we're going to be sketching those over the next few weeks. Maybe once one character a week, I would say. And, Canales already has some ideas for some of them, because he's got his roosters of online enemies that kick him out all the time out of Twitter because of those bastards. And we can certainly use some of those fellows as inspirations if Canales wants to. We don't care about cease and desists. We don't care as long as we don't
Canales doesn't care about
clear.
anything. Canales just wants to piss people off.
That's it. As long as we don't literally name anyone. If there's any resemblance to any person dead or alive, well, it's pure coincidence, isn't it?
No.
Let's have a look here. Oh, you're inking already, yeah?
Yep. And using my beautiful Fudenosuke pen to ink the on this bad boy.
So I'm thinking the gnomes are in the garden, right? The garden of the house in the script. And they start off completely benign. I mean, they're just inanimated objects, yeah? When the curse takes over the house, the curse of the devil guy, and everything basically becomes enchanted, cursed in this case, because curse is the opposite of an enchantment, isn't it? Enchantment is a benign thing, a curse is a malign thing, isn't it? So, but our options are like the ones in Beauty and the Beast. It's just that they're cursed, they're not enchanted. Although in the Beauty and the Beast they are cursed though. That's why they become the clock and the closet and the cup.
Those guys live in hell. That's a curse.
Right. So Kumi Mark is on the stream. He's, as I said before, I have sent him some ideas for him to see if he has anything to offer. He's quoting Monster House. Yeah, Monster House. I like that movie very much, actually. I dig Monster House. Have you watched that?
Yeah, I really like it. I think it was written by Rob Schrap. I don't know if it was also directed by him, but he's the guy who created Scott, the Disposable Assassin. I don't know if you read that comic book.
I have not. I have to check that. But I like the Monster House vibe because he's got exactly that sort of starts off like almost as a tale for kids, and then he gets underlined as a really stressful kind of vibe going on, and you kind of think that at any moment he's going to turn into a full-on horror animated feature. And actually never does, because it's still aimed at mostly family entertainment. But he's really, really on the cusp. He's really on touching the line. He's borderline becoming a full-on horror. And the ideas are very nice, the way that they're developed. So yeah, Monster House comes to mind. Although, call me Mark, the house doesn't actually becomes an entity on its own. It doesn't have a mouth and eyes and an amygdala like the one in Monster House. That's not the idea. The idea is that the house itself does not let people get out. So the house does not become a being of his own. He's just an enclosure, a tool that doesn't let anyone out. Is the objects inside the house that are actually going to be properly cursed. So they're the ones that are actually going to be doing things on their own volition. Imagine the giant gnome is dumb. He's saying, yeah, that's the idea. The giant gnome is dumb. So, but Canales just made the proposition, and maybe he could be the guy actually calling the shots. So maybe that's a twist we could offer towards the end. And that's a great thing about going off the wall. Is out of the box. Is that we can inject as many twists as we want. We don't have to follow any editorial step by step kind of rules. And then, if the result is crap, we blame ourselves. But at least we tried.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking like the gnome you're doing here now I think is like an evolved gnome, like in Pokemon, isn't it? They got 3 or 4 steps of evolution. So this one has mutated already, and he's got those frog legs and the frog
Yeah, they
arm.
paid him after midnight or something.
That could be that. They start off as, like I was saying, they start off normally in the garden, and then as the book goes, they become more vicious. They can mutate. I think that's a great idea. The same goes for all the options. I mean, this is we go as far as Canales can take it in terms of art. I mean, sky's the limit. Is whatever time frame he wants to put on this, because obviously Canales is very busy. So
Mhm.
whatever time frame, we discuss how many pages. We roughly discuss how many pages we're going to be going for. He suggested to the size of traditional European graphic novels of 40 something pages, isn't it?
Yeah, something like
And
that.
I'm
Maybe 50 pages. I don't know.
50 pages tops, isn't it? Yeah, bordering that. And I'm trying to condition the script to that. And I mean, the amount of stuff I'm going to be putting in it all depends how far and how much time he has. I mean, I wouldn't mind going all out, doing like all this crap in the house, just going at the people and then just mutating. I do have an idea for a final house monster, and I don't know if Commie Mark was hinting at this, but in the end, the idea is going to have a big finale. Like I always like Poltergeist, the movie. I always
That's a
like
good
with
reference.
Poltergeist. It is a good reference. I always like that the house becomes its own thing in the end, right? I mean, it's the ghost inside the house, but then in the end, the house itself becomes an enclosure that the protagonists have to beat. They have to get out. So, and the house itself consumes on its own. It's like it sucks itself into this ether, and I think that's the finale we need for the book. It's just there's a crescendo of situations and the crescendo of the crisis, and then in the end, the house doesn't turn against them, but there's a house monster, which is the final boss to beat, which is all the objects of the house, all the electrodomestics, just put it all together against the final survivors, and the
Yeah,
gnomes obviously riding that. How big that's going to be, how complicated that's going to be, we don't know. I mean, that's the magic of the premise. I was thinking of is that we're going to go through that process of creating that. And again, anyone can chirp in ideas. I'm going to share a few more garden gnomes pictures. I'm sure we're going to find something very dirty here.
yes.
Look at this guy. The baby
Little
sitting
elf.
gnome. Now, we can't confuse gnomes with elves. Gnomes do not have pointy ears. Elves have pointy ears, right? I mean, a elf is a proper race of. Is supposed to be slightly taller than humans anyway. So, oh Jesus Christ! Look at this guy. It's another zombie gnome. There you go. That is a picture of the garden of the house in our book. A bunch of gnomes in the corner of the garden. Look at these guys. Who the hell are those guys in the middle? That is freaky.
I don't. Oh, look, those are characters from the Cuphead video game.
From the what?
The Cuphead video game. I think that was a crowdfunded video game around about I don't know, maybe 5 years ago, something like that.
Oh man, I'm completely out of the loop. I don't even know what that is. Awesome. I know Little Big World or whatever it is. That's from Sony, I think. That's pretty much the only game I know of that kind of stuff. That's the Seven Dwarfs again. That is the Seven Dwarfs. Yeah, because the Seven Dwarfs they have different kind of costumes. They got this the Hosenhargens, the suspender belts, isn't it? They got just complete.
Yeah,
Um, they got these tunics over the trousers as well, long ones. I mean, you got Sleepy, isn't it? Sleepy has his long robe, isn't it? His long green robe. Oh, it's not Sleepy. What is the name of the other guy? The bald one, the one with no beard, with the big
uh,
ears.
that's probably dumb, dummy, something like that. I know he was called Mudito in Spanish because he didn't speak.
Yeah, he doesn't speak, does he? Seven Dwarfs. I don't need to go to Wikipedia, do I? There we go. Dopey. That's it.
Dopey, okay.
There you go. Look at us. Two grown men looking at the Seven Dwarfs. 9 o'clock in the evening on
I think
2020.
I wouldn't consider myself entirely grown up yet. I mean, I'm only
Yeah,
39.
grown in size. Inside the head now.
That
Sneezy,
is,
sleepy, happy. Doc. Doc is the guy in charge, I think, isn't it? Grumpy, dopey. Yeah, dopey. There you go. It's got this long. It's got this thing which is just oversized for his body. So it just kind of yeah, it's got these big sleeves that are always in the way, and then it's got drops all the way down to the legs. What is supposed to be his coat. Doc is repeated here. So many we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's it. Doc is repeated. Bashful. I remember this guy. He's got these long eyelashes, slightly gay. Happy. Happy was a cozy grandpa kind of gnome, kind of dwarf. But that's the thing. The seven dwarfs are basically gnomes, isn't it? Look, they're dressed up like all the other ones would be
yep. I think that's purely a
looking at the photo
semantic difference.
references. Yeah, they got the belts. They got pretty much nothing else. Oh, there you go. Pretty much we're in the same ballpark here. Gnomes, seven dwarfs, all the same crap. But everyone waiting for the book was probably thinking something else. The gnomes were they were probably thinking about trolls. There's already too many of those guys. We don't want any more trolls. We do the trolling ourselves.
Our quota is already full, so don't worry about trolls. We already have our fill.
Dirty garden gnomes. Of course, there's always. God damn it! Doesn't open the photo. It takes me to the link. I don't know. I hope this is not porn. There you go.
That's
Look
a
at
good
this shit.
callback. That's a good callback to the times when Comics Gate was happier and more wholesome.
Yes. Okay, so let's snap a pic to this. Yeah, this is a reference pic for the book. Yeah, this has to have. The other thing I was thinking is, are garden gnomes are indestructible or not? Because gnomes are made usually of well, they can be made of plastic, they can be made of porcelain. I think they're usually full with this. They fill with this kind of plaster kind of thing, isn't it? And then just painted over.
Yeah, they're kind
And
of
I'm
like
thinking, what's
plasters
the way to
usually.
destroy them? Yeah. So what's the way to destroy them? Because I don't think that they should become when they become cursed and they become sentient. I don't think they should have They should not become human. Basically, they should not have. They should not be able to be destroyed like you kill someone. So they, I'm just thinking if they're slightly indestructible though, because otherwise it'll be quite easy to snafu 7 or 8 gnomes, isn't it? Although I gotta say, the idea is that the gnomes they behave like rats. Rat goes, bites what you want, and then hides. And same with the gnomes. They're not attacking en masse. They're not attacking like viciously. They're like there's just hit and run kind of thing. Because
Mhm.
the main maiming in the house is going to be provided, is going to be done by the objects in the house. So everything that is part of the house is going to turn against the people inside the house. So I think the gnomes are just there to kind of control the action, to kind of drive the action. At least that's how I'm scripting it. But Les Canales has other ideas. What is this guy carrying?
Well, I was thinking that they may be easily defeatable for a regular human, but we're talking about liberal activists here. So those guys lose their shit over nothing. So that could be the joke, that our guys are actually pretty easy to defeat, but the
Mm-hmm.
humans are too much of a pussy to do it
Mm-hmm.
effectively.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Organically, that's definitely should be an angle to take. Yeah. I mean, they just lose their shit easily, and then just kind of put their tails between their legs, and they have no idea what to do. Oh, we got a funky one. There you go. That's a heavy set lady.
Oh my.
Oh, it's a pool. Pole dancing. Pole dancing gnome. Ah, it's great. Look at that. A beat shabby than my ex-wife. I like the platform, and I like that the pole is like a little twig, a garden twig.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely another reference. Oh Jesus! Oh, all right. Now we're getting there. Are
So
you
much
seeing this?
degenerate. Oh yeah, no, I'm taking occasional pics, and I'm realizing that nothing that we can come up with is more degenerate than what's already on the internet.
And I said we're just gonna hire all these guys. You gotta call these people that do the gnomes in the. Oh yeah. Now wait a second. What kind of position is this? This is out of the Kama Sutra. I'm sure. What the hell? I gotta go 200% on this.
Very dirty numbers.
Ooh, this is where the hell does he has his legs? I like his her passion grabbing his tummy. Oh yeah, baby.
Crime shit.
Say what, you broke up, man?
That's some Cronenberg shit right there.
It is. Look at this. Jesus Christ. Where the hell he has his legs, man? That's some kinky stuff. I like that he has a nice little bed of grass below, so it's comfy for the female of the gender, yeah? Female of the species, yeah? That's another one. Telling how it should be. A bit more detailed. I think you should design them really benign in the end. I think that mutation you've done there is pretty cool. But I think that should come a bit later, isn't it? Like halfway through the book. Will that confuse
Yeah, okay.
people that they get mutated? You think people will get confused? Or they'll still understand it's the same gnomes?
I don't know. We could have them go slightly and progressively insane and more monstrous as the story progresses. Kind of like Chucky.
Hmm. Hmm. Oh, there you go. We got another shot of that lewd picture, and now I can see where the legs of the other guy are. They're here at the back. Fornicating garden gnomes. That's what I actually call the item. Fornicating gnomes. All right, well, that's already full frontal here. Getting completely exposed. What is this guy doing? Oh, he's riding a turtle. Okay,
Yeah,
this guy already. I guess he farted, but he had to put his pants down to fart.
it happens
And then we
sometimes.
got. Yeah, well, yeah. Put the pants down. Yeah, see, this is the kind of kitsch I like. Look at this crap. That's it. This is how I'm going to be living in about 6 months' time. Take myself a nice little bath inside a bucket in the woods. I like his boots though, snow boots. I hope my mouse clicking is not too loud. I just remember that now. Usually it is. Oh yeah, now we're getting there. Okay, here we go, Canales. Look at this full on degenerate
Of
gnome.
course, of
That's
course.
uh that's Preston Polter, man.
Huh.
He's got red heels. He puts on ladies' heels when he puts his shit on. Is that a
What a
Zorro
time to
mask?
be alive. 2020.
Look at it.
That
Amazing, huh?
definitely looks like a Zorro. No, that's just BDSM blindfold.
So anyone thinking that well, we're just doing this for clicks, these guys just want to be dirty on purpose, and obviously we're gonna have a lot of crap falling on top of us once we start uploading Canales artwork as he's gonna be producing it. We're gonna have a lot of people with knives out. Oh, Chewbacca saying, "Oh, this bunch of couple of degenerate pricks," and you know what, guys? As you can see online, it's much worse.
Absolutely.
Much worse.
Yep.
Oh, he's Bigfoot. He's Bigfoot. It's Bigfoot Bill. It's Bigfoot carrying the gnomes. Question is, what is he going to do with the gnomes? I think he's going to eat them. I can see by his sinister face. He's thinking on doing something. Oh, Game of Thrones gnome. Oh, look at this. Game of Thrones gnome. That's a nice way to plug Game of Thrones. That's the guy. That looks like the guy from Mad. Forget his name. That's Barrett gnome.
I'm not the biggest
Bora.
expert on gnomes, if you can believe that.
What, you're becoming one?
No,
Live.
a little bit.
Learning.
Perks of
We're
the
learning this guy. Look at that. Of course. This is the right gnome. If you're a hippie, you smoke your shrooms, and this is a gnome you have. The guy is he's a proper
yeah.
Russian gnome. Mushroom picking in East Europe is very popular, in the Baltic countries, in some of Russia, and this is clear Russian gnomes. Russian gnome. You can see the texture in the sculpting. Yeah, the hat is very nice. Covers his face. He's completely pissed. He decided to go mushroom hunting, and obviously he already had a bite. These mushrooms are poisonous. Yeah, the ones with the red cap and the white dots. They're the most
Oh,
poisonous kind
sure.
of mushrooms. And his wife told him, don't fucking eat those mushrooms, man. You're gonna, and that's it. I mean, this guy, he died. I mean, it's not like he had a trip. He had a trip, and then he had a convulsion, and he had a heart attack. I'm pretty sure this is him having his heart attack and falling.
Okay, so this bad boy is
Oh, this
finished. What do
guy.
you guys think?
Right, let me remove. Let's have a look. Here we go. How do I make your screen bigger?
I don't know. I just work
Let me
here.
see. I move this. This doesn't help. Why something I'm gonna have solo layout. There you go. Hey, I managed to do something.
Parallel like that. How's
That's
that?
it. Yeah. Pizza cutter. Pizza cutter. Freaked out. Gnashing teeth. Rotten clothes are kind of rotting up a bit. Yeah, man. That's it. That's the third stage of the evolution, isn't it? From a little piece of
Or the
garden gnome
final
to
one.
this.
We
Yeah,
should ask
the
our
fun.
readers and see what they want, because that's what this is supposed to be. Let them decide.
Exactly. We don't have many here yet. This is the first episode, but hey, Mark, if you're still there, whatever advice you have is more than welcome. There you go. Well, it's getting close to 11 o'clock there, isn't it?
Yep, it's almost dinner time here, so I should probably get going anytime now.
That's it. like a good Spanish man. You have dinner at
Mhm.
11 o'clock, like it should be. The Brits here, they have dinner at 7 o'clock in the afternoon. Man, he pisses me off. He freaks me out, man.
Right?
I want to, yeah.
Britons are freaking
I was,
weird, man.
yeah, man. I go to
Britain
sleep with
was
the
a
chickens,
mistake.
man.
Just have a Britain was a
Big-
mistake. Just like cannot. I'm beginning to think that the Commonwealth was a collective mistake.
That is a huge mistake. It's an annoying mistake. I mean, actually, Britain is quite cool. The problem with Britain is that he's full of Brits.
Oh yeah.
I love Braveheart. Well, we're gonna have a lot to talk about in the upcoming weeks as we talk about this culture war. We can every episode we can bring up an issue that is pertinent, and we can certainly kind of use it and put it in the book. Yeah, was kind of change the names, and change the situation. So we keep everything in the realm of fantasy. But once
Mhm.
again, anyone just joining now or just watching this on a replay, welcome to join us every time as we do the concept art for the book, and we go through the script and we add scenes. Any comments will be welcome, and anyone can participate in this book. That's the idea of the gnomes. When the gnomes attack, and then when we finally, when Canales is ready to start working full steam on the book, then we take this on crowdfunding, and even then, people can participate in any way they can.
Such
But
a
for now,
beautiful idea.
hey, it's a good idea, isn't it? I think it's a good idea, and
Mhm.
also it's kind of it's kind of a patch up job because I got writer's block now. So like this, it just helps me do the book. But don't tell that to anyone. Yeah, let's just let them convince themselves that it's just kind of a group kind of thing. Kind of participation. Everybody gets a medal kind of thing. So anyway, I'll let Canales go. We got one gnome done, and we should be here again next week and try hash out one of the other characters. All right.
All right.
Okay. So, well, goodbye to everyone, and do like and subscribe to the channel. We need subscribers. We need a bunch of eyes on this. We wanna make this a good book, man. We wanna blow this out of proportion, so to
Oh
speak.
yeah.
So that's it, man. I'll see everyone later. Bye bye.
Adios.